Hello everybody. Coming at you a little softer this evening. We gotta fly under the radar with this one. See, there's been some news. Nintendo done fucked up yet again. Some fucking how, Nintendo has been granted the patent for, I believe I'm quoting here, correct me if I get this wrong, having a character summon a sub-character to then fight another sub-character. Which is to say, you know how they do that thing in Pokémon where you throw out a little guy and then that guy fights for you? I haven't read through it 100%, so I've already heard some details that I think makes it less damning than it initially sounds, but still, we're doing the Nemesis thing all over again. And what's more, we're doing the Nemesis thing on a mechanic that has already been all over the place for decades. Digimon does this, Bakugan does this, in absolute technicality, Beyblade does this, Temtem, Palworld. Honestly, Palworld might get around this depending on how they frame it. A lot of the images I've seen have this like static 1v1 type thing. So Palworld being that like moving around and you're a fighter as well and you've got guns might get around this. And this has been Nintendo's year-long war against Palworld for quote-unquote stealing their IP. It may have dashed my hopes for a new Fossil Fighters game. Anyway, we're mad at Nintendo right now, so what better to do than laugh at them and point and laugh about all of the ways that we can do it better. Specifically, we are going to talk about Pokemon that, for whatever reason, are in desperate need of another evolution. This could be anything, as long as it's not something that's already a triple stage. Obviously, we're not going to push into a fourth stage, and for the sake of this video not being an hour long, I didn't want to include Megas, so there will be no Megaing here. But this could be any 2-stage and any 1-stage Pokemon, and it could be into anything. So let's jump right into it. Let's start right at the beginning. Obviously, we can't have Bulbasaur, we can't have Charmander, we can't have Squirtle, we can't have Caterpie, we can't have Weedle. So where better to start at the beginning than Rattata? We're due for a new Tata. And I could see this going one of two ways. The first thing that came to mind was, really, this is the biggest rat you can imagine? I feel like we can get a bigger rat than that. A rat king, if you would. No, that's my other answer. If you're unfamiliar, the actual rat king is when a bunch of rats get tied, their tails get tied together and they can't come apart, and then it's just a bunch of rats. I feel like you could do something either very cute, kind of similar to Tandemaus now that I'm thinking about it, but more like roommates that got stuck together rather than life partners. Or alternately, you could make it like a ghost type, give us another normal ghost and do something with that, something there, and make it kind of more like, oh no, these animals are stuck together and they might die about it, but we've been killing Pokemon for years, so don't worry about it. Rattata. You get the concept. Moving on. Parasect. Now, if you don't know the lore about Parasect, that crab is dead. We've been killing Pokemon for years, so don't worry about it. The Pokemon is the mushroom. Paras, it's kind of a symbiotic, parasitic relationship that is, you know, sort of beneficial for both. Once we get to Parasect, it's fully parasitic and has killed the creature and is taking over. Very Last of Us. So let's keep going with that. At this, I'm talking full hulking mushroom beast. Basically all that shit that they did in Infinite Fusion with Parasect, all of the sprite artists went hard in Infinite Fusion with Parasect, and I want something like that to actually be canon. I want them to go absolutely hard with, I don't know, I don't have names for all of these, but whatever Parasect, maybe Paragation. Ooh, I like that a lot. Because like sect, congregation, paragation, and it also kind of goes with like fumigation. That's cool. No, I like that a lot. Ninjask. Now I know Ninjask has the like split with Shedinja, and that's fine. That can stay the way it is. Shedinja's really cool on its own. But I can't think of any, but I know that there is a Pokemon that has a split evolution, and then the split continues evolving, and the other split does not. And if not, this will be a cool new thing to do, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Somebody fact check me. The whole thing about cicadas is that there's a shit ton of them. There's an absolute swarm. They come up every however many years, each group or whatever. And there's just, if you've never been to the Midwest during a cicada outbreak, there's a fucking ocean of little bugs just everywhere. That should be Ninjask's evolution. Some sort of... Is there... what's a group of ninjas? Is there a group of ninjas? Is there a word for that? Like a troop of ninjas? Cornucopia? What's the plural of ninjas? Or like the group of... That, whatever that is, incorporate that into the name and have a swarm of ninjas. That's what that should be called, and that's what that should be. Up next, another very simple one. I know that we don't often fuck with the Pikachu clones. Even though Pikachu evolves, none of these other Pika clones evolve. But I feel like it's time one of them does, and we can do a bit of a callback with it because these guys haven't been relevant. One of them ever, the other one since Coliseum. We've had Plusle and Minun. Let's get Multiplusle and Divinun. I'm sure that there's fan art of this. I cannot be the first person to have come up with this concept, but it seems so obvious to me, and also I'm really proud of those names, and of course that means Nintendo's not going to use them, because they refuse to just hire people that have good ideas, and instead make Mega Evolutions like this. Why is it just a new hat? Victory Bell's cool, though. Oh my god, Victory Bell stole my lights. Victory Bell made everything... And speaking of duos, a couple of weird ones. Pokemon that no one seemed to care about. And I think we can fix that. You remember Ariados and Ledian? These two showed up early game. They're both early bug types that only have 2 stages, kind of don't matter. What I propose to you is mashing those two together in the same way that you have to mash Carablast and Shelmet together. They only evolve when you trade them with each other. I think you could do something very cool with Ariados standing up, because Ledian's already the, like, Comet Punch is not its signature move, but the interesting move that it gets, and it's about the punches. I think you could do something interesting with Ariados, like standing up and becoming a fighting bug. Kind of similar to what Spidops wanted to be, but, like, good. Or kind of similar to Machamp, but, you know, a spider. I don't know what Ledian gets. I thought about this one for a little while. You could maybe do, like, a ninja thing. I know we just did ninjas with Shed Ninja, but you could do a ninja thing with, like, throwing stars made out of spider web. The goal is each of them takes something from each other. So Ariados gets the punching and becomes Furiados. You can get a little nod to Fury of Blows D&D. And Ledian does something spidery. Maybe the wings become webby, or it's surfing on a web like Miss Spider's Sunny Patch Kids. Oh, if anyone remembers that show, I fuck with this show hard, which is weird because I do have arachnophobia. And yet this show goes hard, and I love that show. Anyway, let's keep with the doubles theme. I'm proposing a split evolution on this one. Everyone loves Mimikyu, which is weird because in the lore, nobody loves Mimikyu, and that's the divide I want to explore. I want Mimikyu to split evolve, and I want it to be based on maximum friendship or affection and minimum affection, friendship, whatever. And the concept for each evolution is the one that is friendly and loved becomes a better sewer, a better, like, costume maker, and then it could maybe start as Raichu to play into the, like, Pikachu thing, or you could do any number of... Honestly, my hottest take is that this could be like a Furfuro thing, where it's got a bunch of different forms, and maybe it's based on what's in your party when it evolves. Obviously, it would be too much work for this to evolve into any Pokemon, but maybe a subset of the evolution requirement is, like, it has to be in your party with one of 8 Pokemon, and these could be like Jigglypuff, Clefable, any of the nice squish, maybe Spinda for a weird one, I don't know. And then on the other side, if you get this thing to absolutely hate you, it tears the costume off, and whatever that fucking nightmare beast underneath that no one has ever seen and survived comes out and is like, no, fuck you, I'm here, let's do it. And in either situation, I think it should lose one of its typings and gain a new one. Probably, as much as we do have this already, probably Ghost Dark when it goes full beast, and probably, maybe Fairy Normal if it becomes fully friendshipped. I don't know. Something like that I think would be cool. Speaking of abhorrent beasts from below the whatever, Tentacruel. I know it just got this other guy. That's different. I don't care about the other guy. I care about this guy. And you know what's bigger than the giant squid? the Kraken.
Hey guys.
Come on. We've been doing this for so, obviously that's where this goes. What else could it possibly go to? And I know that there was the giant Tentacruel in the anime, and that's not what I mean. I don't care about just make it bigger, although you do need to make it bigger. Come on. Also, another gripe in the same vein that they could fix with this evolution. 80 tentacles? The Pokédex regularly refers to this thing's 80 tentacles. I don't see 80 here. Maybe they're all like wound up in each other super tightly, so they just look like one and it's actually This is not 80 tentacles. I'm not gonna say that. I almost said something really cursed and I'm not gonna say it. If you wanna hear the end of this joke, subscribe to the Patreon. I am going back on my rules slightly here. I am addressing a Pokemon that gets a Mega, but I am not suggesting a new Mega. I'm suggesting a proper evolution, and it's Lopunny. Hear me out. Let me make my case. Let me make my case. This thing's got a vibe. And for the life of me, I don't understand why they gave it this vibe, but they do. And then they Mega Evolved it and gave it fucking ripped thigh highs. Why'd we do that, Pokemon? Can we undo that? Can we undo that by giving it a third stage that will, 1, devalue Mega Evolving this thing, and 2, be less sexy? I get why we do this to Gardevoir, but Gardevoir's design is not inherently sexy, it's just inherently woman. The internet ran with that one. Same with Vaporeon, which I'm not even gonna, that's all you get on that one. But like, this is, come on guys. Why did we do this? Who was this for? Can we fix it? Can we give it a much bigger and like bulkier design? So, I get that you want the focus to be the legs. Kicking Rabbit I'm fine with. Give me a silhouette that I wouldn't see in Playboy, and we'll be fine. Yeah, bunny joke, I get it. Moving on. While we're in Sinnoh, though, I do have another pitch for you. You remember this thing? I didn't. That's a lie, I remember all of them. But no one cares about Purugly, and I think part of that's because it's not particularly ugly. Like, it's not stellar. No one's writing any poems about this cat, but they didn't go far enough with making it ugly, especially when the first one is Glam Meow. So I think it's time that we get Kidius. Kitty Hideous, get it? I'm proud of that one too. Imagine, this is gonna be more graphic than the style would allow for, but just put what I'm about to say into the Pokemon style. Imagine, if you would, the Revenant. Or Mordew the Demon Bear from Brave. And then do that to a cat rather than to a bear. That's Kidius. That is what we need. Speaking of things that are hideous, these fucking monkeys. Let's give them a third stage. You look me in the eye. You look me in the eye and tell me that these stupid things are not an awkward middle stage. So many Pokemon have the like awkward middle stage before you get to the big stage. Croconaw, even though I kind of like Croconaw, is very much a like, why is he still wearing the diaper? I've always felt like Fracture was weirdly like stuck between the two and didn't really come into its own. These 3 stupid monkeys are definitely midpoints. And honestly, and I got this idea because this one has its eyes closed, you could do a 3 evil monkeys thing with this. Hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. This one's already blind, take one of their mouths away. You could do like a fiery mouth thing, because I seem to remember these guys were used by chefs. They don't really have anything culinary to themselves, but you could do a fiery mouth thing so you can't talk, and then like overgrowth on the ears with the plant one, and then see no evil with the, you could like, water over the eyes because it's already closed, but like something to enforce that. I think you might actually get someone to enjoy these monkeys that way. We're gonna take a little intermission here, and instead of talking about things that need to evolve, talk about some things that absolutely do not need to evolve. We're gonna start simple. Any fish in the game does not need to evolve. Mainly because there's already so many fucking fish Pokemon. Similarly, birds, specifically Route 1 birds. A lot of them already get all the way up there, but the ones that don't are interesting because they don't. I'm talking Noctowl, I'm talking, I almost said Skarmory, that's not right. Swellow, Kilowattrel, these are good. We don't need more birds. We don't need more Route 1 3-stage birds. It's already interesting enough that they're different. Speaking of birds, although this is for a different reason, Dodrio and Dugtrio. And here's my reasoning. We've already seen what happens when one of these one becomes more types evolves with Magnezone. And Arceus Almighty, do I not want to see the fusion beast that is Magnezone applied to Dodrio or Dugtrio? I do not need to see that ostrich or those little sausages smashed together into a horrible amalgam. Absolutely not. And now in intermission within the intermission, not only should this Pokemon not gain a new evolution, it should lose its old one, Cutiefly. Ribombee should be banished forever. Get rid of it. Cutiefly is already the perfect being. Just let it be Cutiefly. Before we stay in intermission limbo too long, we'll go back out to the mid layer with Lantern. Now, why does Lantern not need another evolution? It's a great question, I get it. I considered putting this one in, being like you could do a bigger, more toothy anglerfish, but no. We can't let it evolve, and here's why. We absolutely cannot let it mega evolve, and here's why. Because of Lantern's Pokédex, because you can see this thing glowing from the bottom of the ocean, someone ran the calculation on the amount of energy you would need for that to be possible. It's more energy than there is within the known universe. This stupid little fish is a walking Big Bang. We do not need it to get even stronger. It's already far and away the most powerful Pokemon. Bar none. Maybe bar Arceus in lore. If you allow for Arceus in lore, it might be able to keep up with Lantern. And finally, Shuckle. Don't fuckle with Shuckle. So now that we finished up the no's, let's get through some more of the yeses. And we're gonna speed round a bit of these. Trevenant. Forest of Lost Souls. Multiple trees, multiple dead guys. Bronzong. We've got the plate, it becomes the bell, it should become something bigger and even more musical. I'm thinking either some sort of bell tower type of thing, maybe as like a conceptual rival to Archaludon, Duraludon, the building guys. This is like a steepley, multiple bell towers, Notre Dame type thing. Or, alternately, I could be talked into some sort of like pipe organ, grand organ type of thing. As long as it doesn't have a face. Saddens me endlessly that this is one of my fiance's genuine hear-me-outs. Tropius. He's already nearly perfect, but if he could evolve into something even greater, then, I mean, honestly, this is just an excuse to give Tropius Eviolite. He's already perfect. 2-stage crabs. 2-stage crabs. 2-stage crabs. Give him a third stage. Like this one. And this one. And this one. And, hey, we already talked about you. Throw Cloth in there, I could use an Evo. I got a weird one for you. I got a real weird one for you, but I'm very proud of it. You remember these fucking things? You remember the unknown? What if they evolve into the known? And now hear me out. I know that that's just silly wordplay, but right now they're called unknown, and they're literally text. The thing that you understand verbally, or visually rather. So, if they evolve into the known, they need to become something that's like more indistinguishable. They need to evolve into Wingdings. Dhelmise! We already have cars. Pokemon. We also have bicycle Pokemon. You don't count until your wheels spin, you stupid lizard. Why can't we have a boat Pokemon? Dhelmise should become a full boat and just be massive, absolutely huge. And finally, the concept here that I believe is the most fleshed out, the one that I'm most proud of and that I really hope happens. And of course, I know it won't because I'm saying it out loud and I don't work for Game Freak, so. You remember Carnivine? No? I wouldn't blame you. He hasn't been relevant in 5 generations. But he was pretty cool. I liked him. I liked him a lot. And I think you could do something really cool with him. I believe I had this idea in an earlier video. Carnivine is already the like dangly down from the trees with the trapping jaw, very Venus flytrap type thing. My pitch for you is the mouth gets much heavier as it evolves, enough that it can't hang from the trees anymore, so it's stuck on the ground. So instead, it inverts and plants its roots, and for the first time in Pokemon history, the tall grass itself is attacking you. Don't go in the tall grass. It's dangerous if you don't have a Pokemon. Good night, everyone. And watch where you step. Also, check out the Patreon and the Discord. It's pretty cool. Thanks, Race.